I will go through all of the latest Tesla stock news, and let's start with some good news. The Tesla Model 3 inventory is looking good, but this is not the good news itself. It will take me a minute to explain, but just keep in mind that the inventory level of Model 3, specifically this is in Europe, is unusually low. But now we have more information that shows us why that likely is. Rob Mauer here says Tesla produced 80,000 vehicles at Giga Shanghai in July. Model Y production of 57,500 was the second highest monthly production ever, while Model 3 production of 22,700 was about 11% below the year-to-date average. So we can connect one with the other. We look at Tesla's inventory of a Model 3 and it's substantially lower than normal, and yet production is also lower, even though we know that Tesla could definitely produce more. So why do you think they are doing that? Lower production when demand is actually there. With so many rumors about the refresh Model 3, I think this is one of the strongest indications of the Model 3 refresh actually happening right now. I think all of these rumors that we saw that Tesla is already producing some refresh Model 3s, I think these are almost certainly true at this point because of this data and what we see with the inventory as well. So to me, as a long-term Tesla stock investor, this is definitely good news. Tesla will either have higher margins or it will cut the prices to increase the demand further. Roland also made a chart, Model Y in yellowish color here and Model 3 in green. Just remember, around this period, we had the factory shut down because of COVID and also because of Chinese New Year, and February has less days. So just to be super clear here, I do agree with James that this kind of data, lower Model 3 production in Giga Shanghai, is the exact kind of data that we want to see because it signals that the refresh is coming very soon indeed. Here's some more good Tesla stock news. The Minister of Digital Development and Transport of Azerbaijan met with Elon Musk at the Tesla plant in Austin, Texas. This to me sounds like perhaps Tesla is also going to expand into another country, although he specifically mentioned Starlink satellites launching in Azerbaijan later this year. And I don't really see Tesla mentioned here, but you know, they probably thought about Tesla too. Tesla is not exactly active in Azerbaijan. Supposedly there are only 99 Tesla vehicles in total in all of Azerbaijan. It's a pretty tiny country, only about 10 million people live in there. But with Tesla expanding into Malaysia and Turkey, perhaps it will expand into Azerbaijan as well. And Elon said before that Tesla is looking to expand into all of these smaller markets as well. They are relatively small, but every little bit helps eventually. Drive Tesla Canada is reporting that Tesla has filed for environmental permits with the relevant authorities in Mexico to begin the first stage of construction of Giga Mexico. The permits are for a warehouse to be built on a 26-hectare site and do not appear to be related to the main Gigafactory building, but still clearly there is progress that is being made right now, and overall I like this news. Oh, this is pretty interesting. The creator of the now defunct inverse Tesla ETF, Nope, said on December 28th that Tesla could fall 80% down to $22, which is where Gordon Johnson thinks Tesla stock should be. Since then, his ETF is down 69% and is shutting down, while Elon Musk Tesla is up 116%. And Matthew elaborated and said right here, they hate us because they ain't us. Even Elon jumped into this conversation. Tesla shorts sure are gluttons for punishment. I mean, how many times do they want to do this? At this time, it's not about making money for them. It's more political really here. But political in a sense that they will never admit that we were wrong. All right, I have some more, what I would say maybe slightly good news. I personally like this. These are supposedly Model 3 parts of the new Model 3. And remember how I said that I did not like this new material? Well, from this angle, I think it looks terrible. That's just how I feel. Maybe you feel differently. But I really don't like how it looks from here. But from this angle, I think it looks pretty good. Now, I don't know how it will actually look in the end, but this here looks fine to me. This, no. So maybe it's not going to be as bad as I thought initially. James also made another comment. At first, he really didn't like this cheaper material, but then he started thinking, and his conclusion is basically that maybe this is actually not bearish, maybe it's actually really bullish, because a lot of people, they stick with the Tesla brand. So if you buy a Model 3, and let's say you buy the cheapest Model 3, eventually you probably upgrade to a Model Y. And if Tesla really does cut the price quite a bit further of this model, then how do other automakers compete? I'm also wondering if this new material indeed ends up actually feeling quite cheap. Would Tesla still keep that better material for higher end trims? If that's the case, and they just have this lower trim, even if indeed it ends up feeling quite cheap, I would view this as a good thing overall. But until we actually see the final end product in person, I think it is difficult to really judge how bad or good this upgrade or downgrade is going to be. I mean, upgrade in terms of manufacturing methods, but downgrade in terms of how it may feel to the end consumer. From Drive Tesla Canada, Nikola announced that the company is suspending sales and recalling all its battery electric trucks due to recent fires. The issue looks like a coolant leak inside the battery pack, leading to a thermal event. So the thing that is supposed to keep the battery cool is actually making the battery hot. Every single day it appears that they have more and more Cybertruck footage. Here's some more. He's saying here that Tesla has more than 5 Cybertrucks and more than 2 refresh Model 3s being tested for winter. Joe here says that he found 3 Cybertrucks over Giga Texas. You can see one right here. Here's another one. This one is a bit more difficult to see. And he found one more, so make it 4. We know that Tesla stock bears like to say that the Semi is vaporware, that the Cybertruck is vaporware, but how about this? This is basically vaporware helping Tesla make more vaporware, isn't it? This is the Tesla Semi transporting a Cybertruck. What do you make out of that? This is a beautiful, beautiful day, and you will see a lot more of this in the future. We know that Tesla is trying to push the Cybertrucks as much as they can so that they can break them down, so they can find out what else they need to fix them before mass production. And indeed, seems like Tesla succeeded with this one Cybertruck actually breaking down, and Tesla employee left it right here, but covered it with this wrap before leaving. We have a few pictures of Cybertruck's bottom here. And at the same time, we now have a closer look at the suspension system that Tesla is possibly likely to use for the Cybertruck. Remember, this is just a prototype or a release candidate, so these could still change quite a bit. But someone who knows a lot about suspension said, overall, I'm surprised by the simplicity of the system. When there's simplicity, there's generally robustness too. So that sounds good to me. ARK Invest sold a bit more of Tesla stock, not much, just a little bit more. That's a very tiny number compared to the total ownership of Tesla stock that they have, and it still remains their top position. We have some good news here. Indonesia, which is another place that Tesla is somewhat interested in terms of building something over there. Indonesia has agreed to offer 0% export duty and value-added tax exemption to electric car makers, including Tesla, that would set up onshore. And Tesla is not saying no to Indonesia. Seems like there's a chance that Tesla may still build something in Indonesia, possibly worth about $1 billion. Indonesian officials met with Tesla on August 3rd, and the meeting went quite a bit longer than expected. It seems that a final decision on building a manufacturing plant by the end of the year will be made. Meaning, maybe Tesla will say no, or maybe Tesla will say yes. The fight between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg is seemingly going to be in Italy, and Elon said it is going to be in an epic location. So, time to watch the Gladiator movie again. I loved that movie. It appears that Tesla is offering discounts for the Powerwall not just in Australia but in the UK as well. Ian Sawyer says that they are also offered in Italy as well as Germany. 5 police officers sued Tesla when this Model X plowed into an emergency vehicle parked in this lane, and they had the lights on and everything. But the autopilot, we now know that autopilot warned the driver 150 times to pay attention. It appears that the driver was impaired, so I think it's really ridiculous to sue Tesla because it's not the fault of Tesla, it's the fault of this impaired driver. But I think there's certainly a debate to be had if a Tesla should perhaps disable someone's autopilot, let's say for an hour or until the next drive, if someone, let's say in a period of 10 minutes, has 10 warnings from the autopilot system. Maybe Tesla should disable that autopilot for the rest of a drive. Others may say, well, maybe we shouldn't do that because if that driver was going to drive anyway, maybe it's better that the autopilot is on and maybe that reduces the chance of a really bad fatality. Maybe it doesn't. But I think that debate should be had. While autopilot in this case was certainly flawed, ultimately it's the responsibility of the driver here. The incident is one of 16 similar crashes under investigation by NHTSA. I'm pretty sure the investigation will reveal that Tesla was not at fault. If regulators decide to ban Tesla's technologies, that would be a huge loss to our society because look at this here. The Tesla vehicle by itself changes lanes when it detects danger. It's not perfect, of course, but we know that Teslas with autopilot on are actually noticeably safer than Teslas without autopilot on. In fact, we have pretty good evidence that shows that Teslas that are being driven on autopilot are quite a bit safer than any other vehicles or Teslas that are not on autopilot. You can see here miles driven per 1 accident, and miles driven per 1 accident on autopilot, well, you have a lot more miles here. And as I zoom out, you can clearly see how much progress Tesla has made. Notice that it fluctuates based on the season, but overall the progress is very clear. And YouTube says you should watch this video next, but if you haven't finished watching this Elon Musk interview, watch this one first. My name is Matt Postius. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.